Things. Thank you. Mimi, hurry up and get your SA Live medal. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Good.
We've got, it's time to lawyer up. Did you see that big intro?
I did.
Yeah,
very nice.
Fiesta's a wonderful time of the year, and Alex Begum is here. May I call you Alex, or do you prefer Alexander?
Alex is fine.
Alex. A-Man is in the house from Villarreal and Begum. We're going to talk today about being safe during Fiesta because there's alcohol flowing, and there's a lot that has changed in Bexar County over the years as we protect our citizens from drunk driving.
There absolutely has been a lot of changes. The most significant change has been the no refusal law here in San Antonio.
How does that work?
So basically, it used to be someone got pulled over. If they had a friend that was a lawyer or they knew a little bit about it, they would refuse a breathalyzer. And so when court time came around, they couldn't prove the case many times, the prosecutors. Well, that was a big frustration for the states. So what they did is city by city, county by county, they started implementing no refusals. So now if you don't blow, so to speak, they can force you to go back to the station, and they will remove blood from your body and test it for alcohol. Obviously, conviction rates go up a lot more.
And we shut people down.
And drunk drivers are being held more accountable now.
It's a deterrent.
It is a huge deterrent for people, and it should be.
Right.
So Fiesta is a very interesting time of the year because this is a big time for celebration. It's a wonderful time for families, for kids, for adults. But you're right, there's a lot of alcohol flowing. Last year and the year before, there were no deaths related to drunk driving during Fiesta.
Thank goodness.
Very good effects, I think, from public transportation options, the park and ride options. But there were almost 400 DWI arrests during that period of time.
Okay, so people took that risk and were on the road impaired.
And if 400 got arrested, imagine all the other ones that were driving over the legal limit that did not get arrested.
It's a risk not worth taking. Obviously, when we see checkpoints and we see people on the side of the road going through sobriety tests, the first thing I think is, wow, I'm so glad I'm not at the front end of their car.
Yeah, I mean, and really the local police really steps up their efforts, their monitoring effort, their deterrent effort during Fiesta. And so it's a time to be obviously very safe because at the end of the day, you're not only putting your own life at risk, the passengers at risk, potentially your family, your children at risk, you're putting members of the driving public at risk.
Well, and we need to make sure you influence your friends and family and the people that you party with, because you were giving me some staggering statistics.
Yeah, so every 50 minutes, someone in this country dies from a drunk driving death. We represent individuals that have been victims to these horrible tragedies, and it's never an easy proposition, particularly when you have so much awareness of what alcohol and drugs can do. Over 10,300 deaths in this country every single year from drunk driving. In San Antonio, in Texas alone, there was 100,000 DWI arrests just in Texas. And by the way, Texas holds the honor of the most drunk driving arrests than any other state in the country. Now, some of that is due to our population.
Sure, we're a bigger state.
Bigger state. But there are states that have more people living in them that don't have our kinds of statistics. In Texas alone, 1,300 people died from drunk driving related accidents last year.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I certainly would like for you not to get any phone calls due to an alcohol related accident. But you're there to help because there's some things people need to know if they're the victim of something like this.
People that are victims of drunk driving accidents have a lot of rights. And someone like us can come in assist them in coordinating with the DA's office, because the DA's office can also establish restitution for the victim against the individual that caused the accident or the injury. The drunk driver also may or may not have insurance. If they don't have insurance, the state of Texas has a Texas Victims Compensation Fund that someone can tap into under the right circumstances and be compensated for their medical bills, for their injuries, those kinds of things.
So two things we want to emphasize. Number one, don't drink and drive. Don't take the risk, and don't hurt other people, because you wouldn't want someone to do that to your family. But if you are hurt, you're the first person to think of because you need someone on your side.
Well, this is what we do, and we'd be happy to help anybody that's been the victim of drunk driving, whether it's fatality or injury. That's what we do every day.
Yeah, and you can find more about Villarreal and Begum, and you can talk to Alex. You can call him at 777-HURT. That's 777-4878. They're also online at vblawgroup.com. And thank you for your advice and some really upsetting statistics, but you're here to help people, and don't let time slip away if something has happened to you.
Correct.
You should call and get to know this guy. Everybody needs a good lawyer when you're not in trouble.
Well, I appreciate it, Jeff. I always enjoy it.
Do you have a good lawyer joke you could share?
I don't know if it'd be appropriate for your audience.
All right,
children here.
We may post it on Facebook later, but we have such a good time talking to you. Those are always so much fun. Thank you for being here, Alex.
Thank you.
All right, more on SA Live.